Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Come here and you will like it. If you don't want it, then don't buy it. So much options, don't fight it. Pick all you want, we don't mind it. We're all kind, we all grind. The best restaurant that will change your mind. You will love us, you will come back for more. Our food will have you running through that door. Look, taco wings and things is the best, and no time will be better than the rest. We're not shy, we spend time with our guests. I thank God, I feel like we're blessed. Look, taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things.
So, last year you work around the clock to ensure that this tax season you see a return that may help you to purchase that car that you're longing for, or help you to pay down that interest rate on that mortgage. Well, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, they call that insane. You know what else is insane? All-in-one multi-tax services. All-in-one multi-tax services help you get the most of your return, serving the 52 state nationwide. For information and direction, you can contact Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. That's 754-204-1610. Or stop on by their office at 3888 West Commercial Boulevard in the city of Tamarack. All-in-one multi-tax services LLC gives you the best of your return, offering services that goes above and beyond. So don't hesitate to call Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. All-in-one multi-tax services LLC. Don't forget to ask about our advanced loans.
It's insightful, it's factual, it's Flexx News and Sports Daily at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. on the only station that matters, Flexx FM.
The following program contains language and scenes that some viewers might find objectionable. Discretion in viewing is advised.
Music.
See, Almighty, let's all rejoice in songs and say, El Shaddai, here I and I, like a child, let's all unite, yeah. I like it a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Lunch with TC. Of course, it may seem like breakfast as I'm having coffee at this time, but nevertheless, it's lunch. I am one of those person who is colonized by the British. Not by anybody, but of course, you all know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please like, tag, and share. The show is brought to you today by Taco Wings and Things. They're conveniently located at 6755 West Oakland Park Boulevard, and that's in the city of Lauderhill. Yes, conveniently tucked in right there between 55th and 56th Avenue on the northbound side of Oakland Park. You can't miss it. I heard that a lot of people stepping in there and still getting discount just by saying they heard it right here on Flexx FM. So I urge you to go and stop there. Let them know that this is where you heard it. And guess what? Even if you are home quarantine right now, self-quarantine, ladies and gentlemen, guess what you need to do? Call this number, 754-779-7866. Again, that number is 754-779-7866. Have them deliver to you. They do delivery. Especially if you're in that geographic area where they can speedily get it in and out fast. Yes. And guess what? When you call that number, 754-7866, guess what happened? They will honor the fact that you said you heard it right here on Flexx FM. So it's 754-779-7866. Again, that number is 754-779-7866. Get in touch with Taco Wings and Things. People are still putting their taste bud to the test, even in this time of crisis. Trust me. Hey, we all need to eat, right? Of course. This is why I'm enjoying my lunch today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to talk about today. Of course, we tell the entire month of April we are indulging in the fact that we are incorporating you, our viewers, subscribers, our listeners, our top fans, to be a co-host on this show right here, Lunch with TC. Every day we use a different fans. So simply mean you guys get the opportunity to let your opinion be heard right here. We have this jar that you can drop your 2 cents in. Simply mean share your views and opinion with us live right here on Flexx FM, the only station that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, the motto that we live by here is to inspire, empower, and entertain. And it's something that we do every day. Yes. Every day we're here, we try to inspire someone, we try to empower someone, we try to entertain someone. So if the day should go by and we don't get to inspire or empower you, at least we know we try our best to entertain you. And if we don't entertain you or inspire you, at least we empower someone. And if we don't entertain and empower you, at least we inspire someone out there. But before this 24-hour expire, we, ladies and gentlemen, will make sure that one of those above guarantee that we will reach someone today. Trust me on that. All right, so it's Flexx FM, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget you can join us on flexfm.online. Yes, go there, ladies and gentlemen. There's a donate button. You can go there, hit that donate button, and donate any amount that you wish. Because there's so many things that we're about to do in this time of need, ladies and gentlemen. In this time of uncertainty, that a lot of people are going through stuff. They were going through it way before this even happened. Imagine now, right? Imagine that. So, with that being said, my special guest, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining me all the way from North Florida at around 1 p.m. today. Yes. So that's the time we will be on with our co-host. Not my special guest, but my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be on at 1 o'clock today. So make sure that you guys stay with me for that. That's going to be real nice. But before we get to that, let me just take a seat, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be one of those that we have some very interesting stuff to discuss. Now, I said to you earlier, if you can invest in a Bluetooth device, please do so. It's very important that you invest in a Bluetooth device, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter the size or the length or whatever it is, invest in it. It's important that you do that. All right? Now, here's another thing that is very important again, too. Keep this device away from your phone. Keep it away from some parts of your body. If you have a case, make sure that you put this device in a case, ladies and gentlemen. All right? It's important that you do that. Cool? All right. So, we're going to make sure that we get these information, we get the facts of these information to share with you. We're going to make sure that whatever information that we share with you, that you yourself can go and research and find out the facts about them. Of course, I want to say thanks to some of our co-hosts for this week already. I want to say thanks to Carl Rose for disbursing so much information on us. I want to say thanks to, of course, Coach Barnett. And of course, Mrs. Barnett too. Thank you guys so very much for co-hosting with me yesterday. It was very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we actually discussed about the plague and what the plague is. And if we are living in the time of the plague, in Moses' time right now, is this what they meant when nothing is new on the face of the earth? Is this what they meant when they say that everything is a cycle? What goes around comes around, and all those proverbs that we have heard? Is that what this means, what's happening right now? Hey, guess what? I honestly think that's what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. Because if you know anything about the plague, let me ask one of my assistant, can I get my glasses, please? Thank you. I'm going to get my glasses, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you very much. Now, a song El Shaddai, and I'm seeing here where Facebook said that them block it left, right, and center. So, am I reset? All right, thank you. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're resetting it on Facebook, but we're good on flexfm.online. I do hope that we're good on YouTube too. YouTube normally send it to our email. All right, so I am reset, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I guess this song, we have to refrain from using it. Song. Your I and I, like a child. Let's do that we on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me on that, because they block us so many times. All right. So while they continue to block us, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to continue to like, tag, and share. Loving that sound. I just love it. All right. So that was supposed to be a sound where, you know, news coming in and so forth. Do you know that they only allow us 10 minutes on that just now, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so I'm back. Yes. So go to your Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, and hit the share button. Let me lead by example. Let me go on and start share to at least, I'm going to share to around 10 persons, because that's the only time I have to share. So if you see this feed come up in your news feed, whether it's you're on Messenger, whatever it is, that means I have shared it to 10 persons in my group. All right? Now, I'm going to share it on Messenger. I do go on Instagram, but I'm not one of those persons that go on Instagram a lot, for real. And I think I should, for real. Especially what's going on, and I have so much to say. You know? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we discussed here yesterday about the plague and what it is and how is it affecting so many people back then. And we still see today where the plague affecting a lot of people just the same. However, let me come here real quick to see. Thank you very much. You're so kind. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let me read this for you guys, and letting you know exactly what this says. All right? And I have to wear my glasses as I see the words all up in a jumble. Yes, Mom, you told me. Okay. All right, so we know that this month, April, is where they celebrate the Passover. And the Passover that we celebrate, some people celebrate Passover as a victory for Moses and Aaron, where they actually free the slave, ladies and gentlemen. It's more than just a victory. The Passover was when you have to use the blood of a lamb to put on your door or your window, so the angel of death doesn't come through and take your family out or your firstborn out. All right? Now, the Passover story, ladies and gentlemen, begins when Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, started to worrying that the Jews living in Egypt will outnumber his own people. His response, forcing them into slavery and decreasing that every son to the Hebrews should be drowned in the Nile. It's a part of the story that the Jews has come to symbolize anti-Semitic persecution more broadly and the historical struggle to ensure it. One baby named Moses is saved and adopted by Pharaoh's own daughter, ladies and gentlemen. Now when Moses grew up, Moses is the one that God used to actually help to free his people, which was the Israelite. That's why they say the Israelites are like the chosen few. All right? Now, we know that in these times, this is how the Passover come to play. Now, their doors, they have to put, let me say this now. When Moses grew up, he was told by God to command Pharaoh to let the Jews go. Pharaoh says no, and God set out to convince him by ways of the 10 plague, like the coronavirus, the AIDS virus, the Ebola. Those are considered plague back then, ladies and gentlemen. If these viruses that we have now were then, they would call them plague. Today we call them viruses. Yes. All right. Now, as the story goes, during the 10th and final plague, God passes through the land of Egypt and strike down the firstborn of every household. But the Jews have been told to mark their doors with the blood of the lamb. They have sacrificed the Passover offering. Check it out. Put this in parentheses, ladies and gentlemen. The Passover offering. And so God passes over their homes. Jews give thanks for being passed over and protected from the plague. It's a reminder that even when Jews are oppressed, the Bible teaches that they are a chosen people and will survive. So if you're a Jew, just know that the Bible teaches you that. But I don't think God make an exception for Jews. And so forth, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there were 10 plagues, and I don't know why the number 10 is significant in this term, because there were 10 plagues, ladies and gentlemen. Now, check this out. The 10th and final plague was the death of a lot of firstborn. But remember, it wasn't God's idea to kill the firstborn back then. It was Pharaoh's idea first. If you read, remember that was his thing, His fear of the Jews outnumbered his people. He said that he would drown every firstborn, right? And then that just come right back around to haunt him. All right, so let's talk about the biblical perspective of that and what the Passover meant. And of course, when the plague comes around, the 10th plague, and this is how all these insects were all actually created long time ago from the day of creation, ladies and gentlemen. But they never swarmed the place in the numbers like they did, because God uses these plagues to arm Moses and Aaron so they could battle Pharaoh and his army. Because there's no way Moses and Pharaoh and Aaron had the military power as Pharaoh back then. So this was just his way of arming him. Naturally, if you know what I mean. All right, so now we know the true meaning of the Passover and what it really meant to the Jews back then. So this is why they celebrate the Passover this month, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously, all these things that happened then took place in the same time this virus, the coronavirus, the COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, started to take over planet Earth, so to speak. It's in the same breath, the same time, all this has been happening. However, this virus not only taking firstborn, it take last, second, middle, no matter when you're born, and no matter what gender are you, either. No matter your age or your nationality, this is taking things. Now, Pharaoh lost that battle, ladies and gentlemen, because he didn't know how to combat those plagues. Thus, the leaders of the world that we have leading the world right now are losing the battle against this plague because they don't know how to combat this plague. You see how things just come right back around? Pharaoh lost, then the people actually were set free because of him losing. If he knew how to combat that, he would have done so, because he was a powerful man back then. However, he lost that, so he had to let the Jews go. Today, 2020, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen where heads of government are losing this battle right here. I think this is definitely a war that's going on, because remember the method that they're using now is war strategy, how to fight a virus. For real. So they're using combat strategies, ladies and gentlemen, to fight this virus. Now, they're telling you to self-quarantine like they would if there is a war strike in any particular place in the region. And they're telling you to use up all these methods, these combat methods. They're sending out the National Guards in their numbers. They're low on medical supplies. Hospital has been filled, overfilled, compact to capacity. And that's what happened in wartime. Simply mean, I said to you, I think it was Monday, I came in and I did a show in a full camouflage, hat camouflage, top, shoes, camouflage, even camouflage underwear. I said that we are at war. No one believed me. In that same show on Monday, I said to you that they don't know what this thing is and the method that they're using is failing. In that same show, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday, I said to you that what they're telling us to do is not working. Evidently, that is not the cause or the reason for this virus to be spreading the way that it's spreading wild. Because you're telling us to wash hands, wash foot, wash face, brush teeth, clean wax out of your ears, take booger out of your nose, and all these things. And everything you do, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers keep going up. So is it that the more we wash your hand and do all of these things, we're being infecting ourselves and others? Is that the case why the numbers keep going up? I think we should have already flattened the curve already. Apparently we're not. This thing is growing like Mount Everest. Listen, America alone have almost a quarter of the numbers of the case that is in the world right now. And remember, everybody here is taking it serious, not to mention those in the Caribbean. People are killing people for sneeze now. You can't cough in certain area now. You have to hold that. If sneezing was a thing, if you hold it, you drop down and dead, the amount of people would have dropped down and dead right now because them no one sneeze or cough in public. And before anyone knew about this virus, everybody used to cough freely, sneeze freely, and one would say, bless you. For real. No, nobody not blessing anybody anymore. The blessing gone. If you notice, if somebody sneezes right now, you're not here, bless you, you know. Or something totally different now you're here. So, hey, you tell me. For real. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to encourage our friends, our family, our neighbors to keep a calm head, keep a level head right now. Let us take 2 steps back from the situation and think critical. Let us ask ourselves this question. If this thing is not airborne, why is it that the number is going up so rapidly? Let's ask ourselves this question. If this thing is not something bouncing off this 5G, this 5th generation technology that's going on right now, why is it moving so fast? Like a 5G technology. Ladies and gentlemen, the virus itself is moving as fast as the 5G technology. Remember, when the 5G technology comes around, it's supposed to deal with like lightning and the speed of sound. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's like light, you know. Trust me, you know. They barely can record the speed of sound. That's how fast this virus is moving. And of course, we are getting too used to this social distancing in such a way that we are distant ourselves from ourselves. We are not talking to our friends anymore. We're not talking to family anymore. We're not talking to neighbors anymore. And if one person in our family catch it, then people just move you out and you're gone down. Not even at the basement, but them take you and them carry go drop you somewhere. People probably will kill you now. No matter if your siblings, them, or your mother, or your father, your auntie, your uncle, whatever the case may be. It seems like people are now getting so scared because of what they're actually hearing coming from the tabloids, coming from the media, ladies and gentlemen, that them not trust people no more. Who said that in a song? Vibes Cartel? Me don't trust people. Me say me can't trust people. I heard Buju Banton say, me not trust phone, me not. All right. Do not put these devices over your body. Do not drop asleep with these devices in your bed. Ladies and gentlemen, do not continue to use these devices in your ears. Use a Bluetooth device or a wired headphone. Try that, ladies and gentlemen, through this duration of the time of what's going on right now. Washer not working. Just take my little foolish advice, man. For real. All right, so I have this 5G video that I'm going to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. It may be 9 minutes long. And when you take a look at this video, and I want you to listen carefully. And these are the experts that comes to the table and share their expertise with us. And we search hard. I was up like 2 o'clock trying to download these videos, ladies and gentlemen, so I could share it with you. Because sometimes it's so overwhelming, the amount of video that is there. But you have to comb out the ones that you think is more reputable. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this video and breathe easy. Watch this.
When I think Trump tweeted out something in 2014, and he said, remember, China is not our friends or not our ally. And he got like 300 retweets. It wasn't something big. He tweeted this back in 2014 or 2015. And then all of a sudden, you know, one day, everybody in the news is talking about 5G. And prior to that day, we weren't really talking about it. And all of a sudden, hey, we got to be the leader in 5G. I'm like, 5G? So I'm going to start looking 5G. Okay, 1G, 2G, 3G. 1G is the regular phone back in the days. 2G is whatever. 3G is the iPhone, you know, and then 4G is the latest phone. And then now 5G is going to be changing the game. And most people go to, well, 5G is just a faster phone, right? Because that's what initially we've always seen the G linked to a phone. Oh my gosh, I can download a movie in 3.6 seconds now on Netflix, a 2-hour movie, where before it was 3 minutes or 6 minutes, whatever, right? When you think about 5G, what do you think about of 5G and the capabilities and what it can really do to whoever that has access to it?
That's a good question. So if you go back to 2007 when the iPhone came out.
2007.
The top 5 in market cap were AT&T, General Electric, Microsoft, ExxonMobil, and Shell. Right? The phone comes out in 2007. I had one, 3G network. It's not a very good experience. 4G network comes out. By the way, we're the second country in the world to build a 4G network. Now you've got something, right? So when Steve Ballmer laughed at Steve Jobs, said, we don't need one of those. When you took the platform, which was the iPhone, and you married it up to the 4G network, which was the pipe for data, and it was a fast enough pipe, now you can create the apps, services, and business models that in 10 years led to the top 5 in market cap being Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and Microsoft. Right? So the Chinese see this and they're like, the platform and the pipe. So the smartphone, this iPhone, which was the first one, then Android. So Apple and Google, right, dominate the mobile platform that the app services and business models of that economy are built on. Now look at the iPhone. It's a hardware, software, tightly integrated, closed-walled system like Steve Jobs liked, and the data was encrypted. Why was the data encrypted? Why did San Bernardino happen? Because Apple's an American company, right? They know you want privacy. They encrypt their phone. So now you've got the platform, and Android also went on to encrypt their platform. So both encrypted, right? So private devices. Take the cloud away from it. Just look at the device itself.
Sure.
It's meant to be a private device. Why? It's American product. Fast forward, to 2009, China starts to look at that. Says, okay, we want to dominate the next level, right? Not just the technology. We want the apps, services, and business models to be Chinese companies. And so Huawei gets hundreds of billions of dollars to develop 5G and ZTE. But then you have Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. So they're behind the Chinese firewall. They're protected. You can't have the fangs going in there. It's just the bats that control the e-economy within China. And then you start, at the same time you're developing 5G, right, the platform, and I'll get to that in a second, but you're also developing Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. So now when you walk into, and you're starting to see the emergence of the 5G world in China. So you walk into a restaurant after you've ordered your food, and a camera picks you up, and you say, hey, David, welcome, here's your food, right? So you're starting to get the feel of what a 5G world is. And what is a 5G world? The platform is the network. So this is mobile computing paired with a pipe. 5G is computing and networking combined on the same platform. So this goes away. You walk outside your door and you say Uber. You don't get on your phone and say, I want an Uber. You just say Uber. Camera picks up your face or a microphone picks up you.
Come on.
That's what 5G is. That's what 5G is. And then the Uber shows up. There's a camera on the car that sees you, knows who you are, don't have to ask you your name. You get in and you go to wherever you want. You get out and you go do whatever you want. So in this world, in the 4G world, this is a platform. It's yours, right? You don't want to be part of that, all of that data. Remember we just talked about how do you influence society? You don't want all that data to be out there about what you're doing. Just don't carry one of these, right? Just opt out. In a 5G world, you cannot opt out. Who owns the data? This, you could conceivably say, you lease the data on here you own. If you're getting Google services, you don't own that data. But in the 5G world, not only can you not opt out because it's built around the city, it's not in your phone anymore. Not only can you not opt out, you don't know who owns the data. Everything that you do can be watched. And for every person by 2022, there's going to be, there's 2 cameras for every person. There's two people for every camera in China by 2022.
They have 1 billion right now on surveillance.
Right,
A billion cameras in China right now.
With artificial intelligence for facial recognition, right? So all of this is getting built right now in China. And who's helping them do it? Microsoft, Google, right? All of these companies that want to deploy this world into our country. So Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, that's where the world goes. It goes from 2007, AT&T, GE, and Microsoft to the FANGs to the BATs, right? Who owns the pipes? Me as a B2 guy, the first thing I look at in the country is where's telecommunications. You've got to take that out, number one. But if rather instead of taking it out, you own or control it, so Huawei builds the pipes, then because you're behind the Great Firewall, you've built the app services and business models of the 5G world. And you're, like I said, you're already starting to see that. You know, where your facial recognition is built into your interaction when you go into a restaurant, or when you go into a store, or when you go into a bank. You know, everything's about, you know, the device is connected. Then as you build the network, then those proliferate. So 4G network, 10,000 devices per square mile. 5G network, 3 million devices per square mile. You're not going to carry 12 smartphones. You may not even carry a smartphone.
10,000 to 3 million?
10,000 to 3 million. That's what 5G does. The connectivity explodes. Right? So that allows you to put devices literally everywhere that can make your life more convenient or can track you. There's a bike in DC. It's called Mobike. Have you seen these things? They're silver and orange. Look out for them next time you're in DC. They're silver and orange, called Mobike. They had them when I was in 2016 when I get to Beijing. You take your phone, and by the way, I took a phone, right, a phone that I threw away when I got home, and I had said,
You threw it away when
I
you
threw
got
it away
home.
when I got home. Load all the apps on it that a Chinese person has, so I can understand what they do. You never have to carry a wallet. You never have to carry a key. It's all done on your phone. You can pay anybody, anywhere for anything, and they do. 900 people are on WeChat, and they spend 90% of their time in app doing things, or, you know, ordering airline tickets, buying food, whatever you want. You can have anything you want.
900 people or 900 million?
900 million people. Okay, so let me explain to you how effective what they built is. I have one of the guys working for me on one of these Mobikes. Now, the Mobike it's just parked there in the street with a lock on it. You go over, you hit a QR code on your phone, it unlocks the bike, you get on it, you ride it, and you lock the bike. Okay, so where does that data go? They know it's you. You got on that bike, you went 2 locations, okay, or you went to a location, so that data is available. So I have one of my guys, he gets on a Mobike, rides somewhere, has his iPad in the basket, gets off the bike, comes back to the embassy, and realizes, I forgot my iPad. Goes into the regional security office and says, I forgot my iPad and my bike. Calls a local public security bureau, and those guys call the guy that's got his iPad on his phone, on his cell phone, and say, can you bring the iPad back to the embassy? That's how wired Beijing is right now.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, 5G at its best. And it makes our life so easy, so we gravitate into this thing as, listen, why is it that every time iPhone or Android bring out a new device, we make sure that we run and get the latest one because we want to be on top of things? This is why 5G wasn't even supposed to release yet. 5G need to be properly federal and gauged down or something. It's just like white rum. Check out white rum. Remember, you know, if you are coming through the airport, you now get the regular drunk robati from Jamaica. You know. When I say drunk robati, you know, I saw them call it a Jamaica. You now get that regular 100% overproof, you know. They have to break that down for somewhat. Every country coming out, they have to have that law. You can't bring the authentic white rum in. It after the percentage rate have to decrease. Now 5G now, yeah, get the fullness thereof of it. You know. That's why I'm saying that these devices are causing some of the problems that we're having right now, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to everything that this product explain and break down to you from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're at 5G. Now there was a clippings that I showed you earlier that there's a documentary that we showed. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? We showed that documentary. I'm not quite sure when, but we did show a documentary where the generation, 5th generation, where 5G is concerned. And him say, we know about 1G, where you have talk, 2G, talk and text, 3G. You have talk, text plus web. 4G, you have talk, text, web. Now these have him said. But if anybody should tell you about 5G, run the next direction. You thought he was kidding when he said that? No. There is no way this virus can move so fast, ladies and gentlemen. And there's only one thing the world have this much in common. A device. These devices. And if you don't have to take what I'm saying as gospel, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just saying this to you, that be open-minded, be critical in your thoughts, and think about it. For real. Now, we have seen where technology is moving faster than mankind itself. And right now, at 2-year-old, I remember I was on a train in New York. I think this was the first time I'm taking the train ever. I've lived in New York for a while and I never took the train. I always drive, go east, west, north, south, anywhere I'm going. It wasn't just my style to take the train, but this time I had to take the train because Mom said, let's take the train because when we get to Eastern Parkway, parking is going to be chaos. So it's easier we go to the train station, take the train and go to, we were going to the parade, the Labor Day parade. And you know what that is in Brooklyn. And so I took the train, and while we were on the train, a lady, this is us coming back now, this is my train ride experience for the first time. And on our way coming back, ladies and gentlemen, a lady had a stroller. She had her phone in her bosom, and with having her phone in her bosom, she had her child in her hand first. However, the child becomes probably a little bit heavy, so she put the child on in the stroller. And I'm admiring this young lady, coming from the Parkway and Labor Day parade and so forth. And same time the child started to cry. Swiftly the lady go in her bosom, take out her phone, put it in the crying stop. I swear to you, no joke, crying stop. Now, there is some persons that I saw doing an interview. I'm not sure if it was here on Flexx FM, but these persons work with the city because we do a lot of interviews with people that work with the city and so forth. And they say that, I think they do some social services, and they say that keep these devices away from your kids as much as possible. And if you do have to have them the TV time, do limited TV time, do more one-on-one with them, personal engagement. And I think that is so true because that is so missing. A lot of us use these devices as soothes to our kids, ladies and gentlemen, to shut them up. No, for real. Fact is a fact. A lot of us use these devices as soothe to shut our kids up. And I can testify sometimes I may be one of those persons who is convicted of that too. You know what I mean? I know parents who go above and beyond to get the latest device for them son. If it even means to get the light cut off or the car repo, I make sure my daughter or my son have the best device there is. Now, why? Sometimes I ask what they say. Oh, it's just to make sure that I can, reach them when they need to be reached. So no other phone, the cheaper phone, doesn't take and send call? I don't know, for real, but that was a poor ass excuse if you ask me, to be honest with you. Now, I have seen where the 5G technology, ladies and gentlemen, is detrimental to our health. For real, not just a soothe to our sons and our daughter, or to buy time for us to get what we want done, as long as them have them phone them good. Nowadays, I see family. Like this social distancing is nothing new, We've been at the social distancing already via mobile device, ladies and gentlemen. We have already been doing this social distancing already. And here's why we've been doing this social distancing, ladies and gentlemen. Because you have people in the same car or in the same house texting each other. What happened to going, knock the door and said, hey, what's going on, everything good? Husband on one side of the bed texting wife on the other side of the bed, how was your day today? Do we communicate better now through texts? Or we like those shorthand words that we like to use, LOL, kiss my teeth, shaking my head? Or it's better to communicate that way? I don't even know what. I am just saying, ladies and gentlemen, it is just the way that we are right now. So we've been doing social distancing already without even knowing it. We are oblivious of social distancing. The only thing now we start to take the tape measure out and say, you stay over there and I stay over here. But that's basically what's happening. People are at the dinner table. When was the last time you go eat and see somebody not on them phone? Everybody are eating, but them dep on them phone. When was the last time you go to a restaurant, see people taking pictures with the food before they even start eating the food? For real, people are cooked now in them living room, and it's not like they're demonstrating how to cook stew peas, oxtail, rice and peas, ackee and saltfish. No, them just take picture of this thing and it's all about that. Every time them I go somewhere, it have to be a selfie. You know much persons I know, house has been broken into, burglary been happening to them because them keep them on, oh, off to Jamaica, oh, off to the Cayman Island, oh, I'm off to Carnival in Trinidad, suitcase pack ready, and them give you a little documentary from their house, go all the way up to the plane when the pilot say put away that thing right now. So everybody know you're gone out of town. Everybody know you live alone. So guess what everybody do? Just come take what them want from out of your place. When you come back, you can't believe you open that door. So sometimes we have to just take 2 steps back from this device here and try to get back to living some life. For real, there's nothing wrong with taking a picture and so forth, because guess what now? Them create this device to minimize stuff. Them create this, listen, you know, you just heard it in that little 9-piece short film just now, you know. This device now, you know, with this device, you don't need to carry a big camera around your neck anymore. You don't need to set up a studio like this. You can do your broadcasting from this device. You can pay your bills from this device. You just take this device and tap it on any machine, and it automatically pick up your card that's stored into it. And this machine now can, when you go jogging, it tell you how your heart rate is. This device now can tell you how your blood pressure is. This device tell you, why this device don't tell us about the coronavirus? Why? Because is it that this device may be one of the reasons why we're having this situation that we're having right now? Hey, it's a possibility. I'm going to tell you about this device. It's also damaging to our health, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me on that. Now, if you don't believe that, listen, there's a lot of male out there cannot reproduce right now because of the use of a cell phone. Do you believe that? Yeah. All right, laugh with me. For real. Take a moment and laugh. Please. Now take a moment and sleep. Someone's sperm count can't even calculate no more. It's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, binary 0, 0, 0, 0. Pure binary number. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. The radiation that comes off these devices, especially with the 5G that's going on right now, it kills cells. So it will give you that cancer thing. Remember, you know, cancer treatment come through chemotherapy, you know. And chemotherapy, ladies and gentlemen, is these electro waves that they use that sometimes all you hear, they even grow back. So if that's how powerful that is, you know, ladies and gentlemen, imagine 5G. Do you know anything about 5G and what 5G really is? If you look at your phone right now, pull it down, and you look to the side, you see it's a 5G. That means we are in that age. That bill has been signed and passed. Technology such as AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, you name them, all of them now have to be on the 5G network because they don't want to be left behind. For real. Faster. And how can you get this faster, ladies and gentlemen? Imagine the electro wave that's going through the atmosphere right now, killing us. Let me give you a little synopsis of what some doctors are saying about the 5G network, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to watch this video carefully. It's a small little clippings, not too long as the one before, but pay attention to what the professionals are saying. Take a listen, ladies and gentlemen.
5G fifth generation technology promises faster download speeds and conveniences that most of us have never dreamed of, but will also be blanketed with a new type of radiation called millimetre waves. Health experts are warning about the rising risks with a 5G rollout.
It's not been made clear to the public that 5G won't just be another number and letter on your cell phone. It requires an entirely new infrastructure of thousands of small cellular antennas to be erected throughout cities where it's going to be installed.
What would 5G infrastructure look like? Small cell antennas could be placed as close as every third hydro pole. Scientists from 42 countries are now warning their governments about the emerging health problems associated with wireless radiation. And Canadian doctors and scientists have added their voices.
The most prevalent symptoms include headache, fatigue, decreased ability to concentrate, tinnitus, irritability, and insomnia. Impacts on the heart and the nervous system are also of great concern.
Dr. Rena Bray has been working at the Provincial Environmental Health Clinic for 15 years and seen the number of people suffering adverse effects from electromagnetic exposure rising.
We are concerned that the upcoming introduction of 5G will significantly increase the proximity and extent of exposure to microwave radiation in Ontarians. We predict that the number of people who develop the symptoms I just mentioned will rise in the places where 5G is first installed.
Dr. Magda Havas is internationally recognized for her research on the biological effects of electromagnetic pollution. She said that at high intensities, these waves cause intense heat and pain because sweat glands on the surface of our skin act like mini antennas.
At lower frequencies, scientists are predicting damage to eyes, loss of insect populations which are already declining, antibiotic resistance in bacteria, and physiological effects on the nervous system and on the immune system.
Radiation from radio frequencies is classed in the same category of carcinogens as lead. One advisor to the World Health Organization said there's enough evidence that if they were to re-evaluate radio frequency radiation,
it would be placed in class 1, i.e. a human carcinogen, and governments could not possibly ignore that.
Some say the scientific debate about the health effects of microwave radiation is over, but the question remains, can we afford to take this risk? Medical doctors are requesting delayed deployment until testing can be conducted on the long-term biological effects of 5G technology.
Wow. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the 5G technology is upon us, and it is giving us health where health is concerned. A lot of people don't understand. I said, invest in a Bluetooth device, ladies and gentlemen. There are many different Bluetooth devices. You can invest in one of those earpiece where you plug the literal, the analog one, then, so to speak, where you have the card plugged to your phone and it comes to your ears. Use these things, ladies and gentlemen. Refuse from use. I've left my phone to charge in my car. When I come back, the phone itself saying overheat. I've never seen that before. And the phone is hot. If I leave this in the car, ladies and gentlemen, and the heat, not even plugged in, just the heat from the sun touch it, the device tell me that it's overheating. Something is wrong here. This is way faster than us. This 5G technology is going way above our head. Listen, we'll go to some comment real quick. All right, so, Kodja, Mr. and Mrs. Barnett, thank you so very much for sharing the platform with us yesterday as our guest. Marlon Carpet, I'm going to have you as a guest, a co-host with me on this show one day, sometime next week. All right? So listen for a link up from yours truly. All right. Also, hi, Hopel, how are you? Once again, thank you very much, DC, Flexx, and staff. More blessing and prosperity and success going forward. May God continue shining His blessing on you. Thank you so very much, Coach. I really appreciate you. All right. Hi, Jennifer Watts. Now you're Jate for data going here. The 5G technology are kill we. For real. Rush Shepherd says facts. Supermark says facts. It is facts, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk nothing but the naked truth. Marlon Carpet says, even dating nowadays, LOL, for real. People are dating via the text message right now is the main source of communication. Yes, that's what it's there for. However, we move past socializing now. We're not socializing no more. As one songwriter said, nobody writes original songs anymore. I could go on and say, I wish I was a singer. No, Rush Shepherd says, the Holy Ghost power is moving just like a magnet. The 5G is oppressor's weapon of indignation. Jeremiah 50 verse 25. There is no invincible God. They are the God. God is dog. Philippines 3 verse 2. Psalms 22 verse 16 through 20. Steve Sanders, Scorpio Wagwan. Blessings, my brother. The scientist / government is God. There is no other God. Their wickedness looks good because we are blind. Good afternoon, Georgia. How are you? Dante Wagwan. All right. So, Chris Knight says, what's your opinion on the Vybz Kartel verdict? Ladies and gentlemen, my opinion on the Vybz Kartel verdict, I didn't hear the verdict in full, so I cannot give a statement on what I think. However, this is Flexx FM, And of course, our news reporter Sean Garrity was all over this one. Take a listen at what our news reporter and, of course, others in the newsroom think about the verdict. Go ahead.
Late breaking news regarding Vybz Kartel. All Jamaica knows Kartel didn't get a fair trial, says his lawyer. Controversial entertainer Vybz Kartel and his 3 murder convicts will be vindicated this morning when their appeal ruling is handed down, says 2 members of the high-level legal team representing the men. All 4 men were sentenced to life imprisonment for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams, and Justice Lennox Campbell, directing that Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, served a 35-year before being eligible for parole. We'll wait to see what happens, but they believe that Kartel and his 3 co-accused will be vindicated. That was a late breaking news from the newsroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we think. Chris Knight, this is how fast Flexx FM Media Group is, like 5G. Trust me. But thanks for your question, though. Honestly, I think that whichever weird direction this thing turn, we will see it unfold for the best for both parties, meaning the family of Clive Lizard and Vybz Kartel and his family as well. He has been doing, I can't believe how time fly that fast, man. For real. Wow, time fly fast. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, especially with everything that's in the wake of everything that's going on right now. Now, I do have my co-host coming up in the next 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Peter Grace is all the way up north in Florida. We'll be talking with him. He'll be co-hosting the next hour with me. And I want to thank him for responding so quick and savvy. We do had another guest from our forum, from our platform, that should have been co-hosting, but unfortunately the time didn't allow her to be a co-host today. But hopefully next week we'll get her to co-host with us. Marlon Carpet and everybody at Supermark, I'll be coming to you to help me co-host a show. We normally give you the topic like 24 hours before, so you can get abreast and get some highlights on the topic that we're going to be discussing. So that's if you guys would like to be a co-host, yes. So we normally give you the topic 24 hours before, so you can get familiarized with what we're going to be discussing the day of. So what we want to say, if you want to be a co-host, please inbox us, all right? If you feel like you want to be a co-host at this email address, flexfm@gmail.com. That's flexxfm@gmail.com. All right? So remember, at 1 o'clock, we're going to go to a break. We're going to continue sharing while we're on the break, and stick around for our special guest to come. Now, I tell you intensively about this 5G thing. And I feel like the way how this virus moved this fast worldwide, only the 5G have the technology to move this fast. There's so many other things about the 5G that we have such little time to share with you. However, you can take the time, ladies and gentlemen, go to YouTube, Google, use any one of these platforms to research it. Because did you know that Microsoft, Google, and all these are helping those persons in China to create these devices? Yes, and these are supposed to be American companies. So everybody in cahoots with this thing, man. Now, I've got to understand just by going through the tabloids, going through the media, going through our news feed here, that the United States is supposed to get some more mask and support assistance from this company in China. A company that I heard their name just mentioned in one of those pieces that we share with you just now. Things that make you go, So some people still, listen, I don't understand how they say that this virus came from China. However, now China is the one that making money from the virus. How is that? They are the one that's sending supplies worldwide now. So if you want this, you probably have to pay for it. But, ladies and gentlemen, look, let me say this to you. Anybody who comes up with the cure for this first, it's going to be a rich nation. Trust me on that. Because every country wants it. Now, the fact that America go around and they have enemy here, there, and everywhere. The countries that has been affected the least are the countries that are going around helping other countries. Cuba, America and them and a friend Russia, America and them and a friend China, America and them and a friend all these countries that are giving aid to other countries. So you know who now get aid from them? Because we and them are not friends. President Obama did actually make an alliance with Cuba that was thrown to the window when our new president took office. So, where are we now? Let us choose who we want to choose as our friend. How about that? And you can keep your war with who you want to keep war with because of trade purposes or whatever, oil purposes. Do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause for the calls and take a break and come right back. And when we do, I'll be talking with my co-host here, Peter Gracie. But before that, remember, on the break, share. Hit that share button, man. Because we have some serious thing talking about the naked truth coming up right after the break. Cool? All right, we'll be right back after this.
Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things. Come here and you will like it. If you don't want it, then don't buy it. So much options, don't fight it. Pick all you want, we don't mind it. We're all kind, we all grind. The best restaurant that will change your mind. You will love us, you will come back for more. Our food will have you running through that door. Look, taco wings and things is the best. And no time will be better than the rest. We're not shy, we spend time with our guests. I thank God, I feel like we're blessed. Look, taco wings, taco wings, taco wings. Taco wings and things.
So, last year you work around the clock to ensure that this tax season you see a return that may help you to purchase that car that you're longing for or help you to pay down that interest rate on that mortgage. Well, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, they call that insane. You know what else is insane? All-in-one multi-tax services. All-in-one multi-tax services help you get the most of your return, serving the 52 state nationwide. For information and direction, you can contact Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. That's 754-204-1610. Or stop on by their office at 3888 West Commercial Boulevard in the city of Tamarack. All-in-one multi-tax services LLC gives you the best of your return, offering services that goes above and beyond. So don't hesitate to call Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. All-in-one multi-tax services LLC. Don't forget to ask about our advanced loans.
It's insightful, it's factual, it's Flexx News and Sports Daily at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. on the only station that matters, Flexx FM.
The following program contains language and scenes that some viewers might find objectionable. Discretion in viewing is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Of course, we are here. My co-host is actually here too. I'll introduce him in a minute, but let me get to, so I was actually reading some of the comments that you guys actually posted in the chat room. And this is what I like about you guys when you guys actually post the stuff in the chat room. It makes it gives the show substance. That's the word. It gives the show substance, ladies and gentlemen. Now, once again, let me remind you, If you want to be a co-host on the Lunch with TC show, ladies and gentlemen, email your name and phone number to flexfm@gmail.com. It's that easy, all right? That way we can contact you. Now, you can spell that email address as flexxfm@gmail.com. That's flexxfm@gmail.com. It will go across the screen right here, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So once you see the email address going across the screen right here, you can make note of that, all right? Now, only the fittest of the fittest shall survive, Rash Shepard says. Now, he also said they are working together against us, which is China, Russia, and Cuba, right? Because remember, you know, America put a lot of sanction on all these communist countries. Now, you notice the communist country, them have less debt going at them place, and the communist country, them have more, of course, more ability to take care of their citizens who are infected with this virus. You notice that? If you don't notice what go on, do some homework, man. Because you are home now not doing much than taking care of yourself and your family. So you have a little time, can do some research. Do it, man. Trust me. Or if not, I can do the research for you with my team, and on Monday we can just go over it together. How about that? You want me to do it, and then Monday we'll go over it together? Let us do that, all right? Now, of course, Chris Knight says in regards to the Vibes Cartel situation and the appeal that they're actually doing, Chris Knight says he only have one more chance, and that's by applying to the Privy Council in London. Now, my answer to that is, Chris, I don't know why London plays such an important role in this case when the crime was in Jamaica. Now, that just showed me that, are we that independent when a situation like this have to go through England, go through London, go to Britain? Seriously? Where are independence? Why does something of that level have to go through another country? Jamaica is not 100% independent. It's just like any salesman or woman that have a company and them sell the company but keep 1% or 2, 5, 10% back for themselves. And I think when England gave us independence, them keep back a percentage for themselves. If certain laws on the book cannot come off without them signed to it, one, or if a man commit a crime and he need to make an appeal and he get 2 strikes, the 3rd strike would have to come from England? Are you serious? So we're not fully independent, so to speak. Hey, things that make you laugh. I mean, I have to be careful of my cough to cause some people to throw me out of the studio. Anyway, Jacqueline says, considering our society use technology now, we can regrettably be sure that mankind will use 5G for good and evil. Prophecy is clear, and mankind continues to use the tools at his disposal to create, let me see, read more. Okay. To create a world that groans in corruption, yearning for a better age to come. Romans 8, verse 22 through 23. And that's Jacqueline Rockers, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me say this to you. Yes, it was intent for greater good like everything else. Just like I said to, of course, our friend Christopher Hughley, that's running for Broad County Clerk of Court. And I said, what will make you different from when you take office? You never become part of the bad apple that is there, because most time we see police officers, soldiers, lawyers and all these things join the forces or join these establishments for greater good. But because they're outnumbered by all these bad apples, they too become bad. I have known a police officer that joined the police force here in Lauderhill, and now him have to practically run for him life because I'm co-workers. Because when them do the wrong and them say it wrong, them say, is either you're with us or you're against us. For real. These are things that are happening around the world. So, Jacqueline, you are so right. It has been created for greater good, but going to use for greater bad. You don't know the balance of the scale already. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, our special guest is actually here, Peter Gracie. I'm going to bring him in right now. Peter, are you there, my brother? How are you?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man. The man's voice even sound more sturdier than my voice. I like it. I like it a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Peter Gracie, and a businessman, an author, plus many more accolades to his name. All right, and I have the pleasure of calling Peter Grace today at probably an hour to the show, and he respond promptly. This is why you need to have friends in high places, ladies and gentlemen. For real. Peter, can you hear me good?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, man.
All right, so we both can hear each other loud and clear, and we can see each other loud and clear. Everything perfect. Flexx FM in 5G right now. Let me ask you this question, though. How are you in terms of health-wise and so forth?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. So you're self-quarantined?
Allergies, that's about it. No, I'm not self-quarantined. I'm just following the basic rules, you know?
Are you going about your
if I have to
day-to-day?
go out, I'm going to go out, so.
Is it?
Yeah, just with more, with precaution.
Taking more precaution?
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
I mean, there's a lot of these precautions we should have been taken a long time ago, you know.
True.
But it's just that we're more aware of it right now.
So, Peter, do you think that washing our hands, taking these precautions such as washing our hands with Lysol, sanitizing ourselves and so forth, taking more than 3 showers a day is something that can cure what's going on right now?
There's no cure for what's going on right now. It's just something we're just gonna. All right, let me try to put it here. I don't know. You read something from that girl before about. It's a comment. She said something about going into an age. Well, it's actually when I talk about these things, I'm not here for people to disagree or agree with me or to argue a point or say what's right or what's wrong. Or I'm not here for that. I'm just telling you what how I see things. So we've entered a new age, and it's called Aquarius.
Yes.
And the scripture you just wrote, that girl sent you, talking about preparing for the age. See, we take these things and we read them so literal, but we don't understand what it means. Now, if you're following a messenger or a prophet like a Muhammad or a Jesus or a Krishna or whatever, these things, there's a reason why these people speak in parables, because it's trying to get you away from that literal interpretation of the Bible, so you can think differently. But we don't think. Instead, what we do is give the government responsibility to engage with us and be a big part of our lives. And so we trust them for so long. And because we've been trusting them to do what's best for us, we've gotten caught up in this lie for so long, we don't even know the truth when it presents itself to us. So this is not something that's going to be cured. There's no cure for the flu. I still strongly believe that the coronavirus is the flu.
Okay, so in your opinion, you think that is the flu virus?
Yeah.
Based on the symptoms?
Yeah, it gives you the same symptoms.
Okay.
The difference is if you have let me try to find a right example. If you have a child, if you and your wife came from Jamaica, mm-hmm. and you had a child in the United States, is that child a Jamaican or is it an American?
For me personally, it's a Jamaican. But some people say, based on the fact that they were born on the grounds here, they're American.
All right, no problem. So now you have a situation where you have 2 people, and you're going to make up your mind, what is this child? Is it a Jamaican or is it an American? Now, you have this thing called the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. First of all, let me let this clear. Virus does not kill people. People need to understand that a virus is alive just like us. If we had where we're living and your landlord came and tore your house down, you have to find somewhere else to go live.
Right.
But because these viruses and these bacteria they normally live in certain animals and they live certain places, and we're over there just taking out all the animals, killing these viruses have to find a new place to live. But the thing is, because there's no cure for the flu, they're able to attach something to it and call it something else. Because once you attach it, it's not the flu anymore. It's now something different.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
clearly.
For instance, just like the child Jamaican and the American, you have to call it something else. Sometimes you become a little creative and call that child a Jamaican. But what is it really? You know, what is that child really? Now, on October 31st, 2007, right, there was an article. I've been saying this for years. There's an article that came out from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. And the article stated that wielding a single carbon nanotube, a single carbon nanotube, remember now, follow me. Revelation talks about the mark of the beast, which is of a man. And they talk about the 666. Well, the 666 is carbon makeup of a man, which is the 6 neutrons, the 6 protons, and the 6 electrons. You follow me?
Really?
Okay. And that's the makeup for carbon. It's makeup of a man.
Wow.
Right?
Never knew that.
The difference is we have egos and we have the creator within us. We have a dualism. We have a creator and we have a creation. So now we're operating collectively with the ego. So now this makes up the evilness that we have because we've been separated, the creator. So now the ego, which could be projected as a devil, the word devil really means to devalue. From the Latin word means to devalue.
Excuse
right?
me.
So
the
now
word devil, the word devil means what?
To devalue.
Devalue?
Yeah, to devalue something.
Okay.
So therefore, if you call yourself creator, the devil is out there to break you down from being the creator to just to be a man. Right? So there was, back to this article, they are saying that it was a single carbon nanotube, which is 10,000 times smaller than the human hair. Think about this.
10,000 times smaller than the human ear?
Smaller than the human hair, right?
Wow.
Physicists have constructed the smallest radio. Think about this. This is something I've been saying since it came out, and every time I say this, people say I'm crazy. But now it's blossoming, and I love it. Because if people were just paying attention, so it's 10,000 times smaller than the human hair. Physicists have constructed the smallest radio. The nanotube vibrates at radio frequencies to receive a signal, right? You follow me? Then it acts as both an amplifier and a receiver, right?
Yes.
So it as an amplifier and a demodulator. With only a battery and sensitive earphones, it covers AM and FM signals. Okay? Now, here's the kicker about this. This receiver or transmitter, you can actually put a tracking collar on it and attach it to a bacterium.
You could put a tracking collar on it and attach it to a bacterium.
Yes.
Explain what is a bacterium.
We cannot see.
Is it bacteria?
Something we can't see.
Okay, so it's microscopic.
Right. So if you have this,
you
can't see with the naked eye. Now, if you have something which is 10,000 times smaller than the human hair, and you can attach it to a bacteria, think about something here. Think about this. You have a flu, which this thing is way smaller than itself.
Right.
Right? You can attach this thing to this flu, to this virus. And you can put it in the AC units, you can put it in the septic tanks, you could put it, and you can just walk out and inhale it. You can do anything with it. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you can do anything with it, it simply means that there's no cure for this thing because it's not supposed to be a cure. It's supposed to be the way the New World Order. And the reason for this is because we just entered into the age of Aquarius, which the age of Aquarius is about technology. It's about coming out. It's about intelligence. Most of all, it's about water. Right? Because that's why water is the cure for everything. Now, check this out, right? Check this out. If you go back to your Bible, and I use the Bible as concept and allegories, the disciple came up to Jesus, was going to the upper room, and he asked Jesus, where shall he prepare for his coming, his return? And he said, follow the man with the pitcher. Right?
Say it again. Repeat
now, if you look at, follow the man with the pitcher.
Follow the man with the picture.
Right, with the pitcher.
So they were a photographer back then. That's what you're saying?
No, the pitcher, the water pitcher.
Oh, the pitcher. Okay.
The water pitcher. Now,
okay, so follow the man with the water pitcher.
Right. Now, check this out. If you follow the ages, as you remember that girl put that thing that on your social media about the age?
Yes.
It's because she's onto something. Now, check this out. Every age is 2,150 to 60 years. Right?
Every age.
Every age. We were born age of Pisces. And Pisces, okay, let me just kind of break it down really quick to you. So you can, when I'm done, you'll have a lot to talk about. So when the ages started, as we know it, as the Bible started, this was the age of Gemini. And everything was about two. It was about Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve. It was about God and Satan. It was about day and night. It was about black and white. It was about all these things. 2,160 years later, we entered into the age of Taurus. In the age of, remember, think about this. When we go into the age of Taurus, it was all about grazing. It was all about the cattle. It was all about cows and all that stuff, bisons, all this stuff. Now, when Moses came off the mountain with the commandments, the question he asked was, are you guys still worshiping the golden calf? Right? And he kicked it over and he presented the Lamb of God. It was all about sheep. It was about lamb. It was all about all that for years, hundreds of years. Sacrifices, putting the blood over your doorstep and all that stuff. Because here's the thing. At the end of each age, there's something dramatic that's going to happen.
At the end of, of each year
or
each day?
At the end and the beginning. At the end and the beginning of each age.
Age, and what's that?
Something
year?
dramatic is going to happen.
How do we know when it's the end of a year or the end of an age?
Well,
it's the end of a season.
This is why it's not you can call the season for lack of better terms, but it's their ages. It's like you had the Stone Age, you had the Iron Age, you had all these ages, right?
Okay, comprehend.
When Moses came off the mountain and he presented the Lamb of God, right? He's preparing you for something else. How the new order is going to be. It's always a new world order.
Yeah, this is why the Ten Commandments did come in, though, Peter Gracie, because when God took them from out of Egypt and bring them to the Promised Land, he said that they're going to need some laws to create order amongst themselves. So this is how the Ten Commandments came
because
into play.
it's a new way of things. It's a new way.
Right.
So now
it's a new age.
It's a new age, new way, new thinking, new mindset, new operation, new everything.
Okay.
New spending money, new way of doing everything. Now, 2,160 years later, we enter the age of Aries. Right? This is when Moses presented the Lamb of God. Right? Because 700 before Jesus came on earth, Isaiah predicted that he would show up. Now, when Jesus came, the age of Aries was done, and now we're in the age of Pisces. And it's all about the fish.
When Jesus came, this was the year of Pisces. So Aries went out.
It's all about the fish.
Pisces came.
Aries went out, and now we're in Pisces. You can follow, if you look at your horoscope, you can follow the timeline that I'm showing you. The order,
okay, so
right?
now I remember when Jesus came,
so now
about fishers of men and so forth.
Everything is about fishes. That's why we were born in the age of Pisces. This is why we were born, when we were born, you see people driving around with their Jesus fish on the car. It's all about the fish. It's all about everything. Those fishes are going to be gone. Look around. They're all going to be gone. All those things are all going to disappear because we're transitioning. Now, look at the transition that we're going into, right? Follow the man with the picture. Here comes Aquarius. The Mayan almanac calendar said it was going to end in December 21st, 2012.
December,
and everyone thinks the world is going to be
2012?
over. Right. You remember when they said the earth is going to end, the world is over, time is done?
That was
this is a
the millennium, 2000.
No, 2012 when the Mayan calendar ended.
Oh, I didn't know about the Mayan calendar.
Right? Right. So the Mayan calendar ended. This is when they say time was over. It's done. And pastors are saying, give me all your money or whatever, and people are giving out money and all that stuff. Anyways, so follow the picture. Here comes the man with the picture. Here comes Aquarius. It's the time for a new order. And a lot of these things are works by the most. It changes our minds, the way we think, because there's an energy within all of us, which is a life. And it's tied in with infinite intelligence, which is within the cosmos if you study astrotheology. Now, this one life causes us to think and behave one way. But outside of us, we have this ego that operates in another way, which projects the devil or projects Satan, because the ego is a lie. Your ego is a lie. And once they find this weakness, it attaches itself to it. So now we're in a new age. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a scare tactic. These things, it's not even a scare tactic. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. Now, with these nanotransmitters that they can attach to these viruses and all that, if they put these things in your septic, if they put it in the AC unit, if they just put it out in the air. Listen, they've been talking about chemtrails for so long, right? You look in the air, you see these lines and this crisscrossing. Clouds don't do that, brother. You know, these are planes going up in the air, releasing stuff out of the engines and all kind of stuff, and testing agriculture stuff, testing the human activities as far as when they release these things in the air, and see how we behave. It's a behavioral thing. It's a mind thing. So now we're entering the age of Aquarius. Now it's about AI. Now the Turing test is almost completed, and the Turing test was dubbed by this scientist. His name is Alan Turing, and in 1950 he came up with this thing to say, can computers think? And when an AI cannot differentiate itself from a human being, and a human being cannot differentiate itself from an AI, the Turing test is completed. Now, we've seen this where artificial intelligence can't even tell itself from a human being because it's actually now thinking. And the first AI that they're talking about walking around on the streets will show up in 2026. So we're on this age of a new world order. The thing is, everything is supposed to be digital. This is why we're entering into artificial intelligence age. If you notice, it started. Everyone is communicating from home. We don't need brick and mortar anymore. This virus will never go away. There's no such thing. It will not go away. Because next year, it's going to come right back out. And they're going to say, oh, there's a new strain again.
I must say it's a second wave, like they normally like to say with what they had said with the Spanish flu, the swine flu. There was a second and a third wave. That's what caused it to be so detrimental.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, though. I'm going to shoot some questions.
Hold on.
Okay.
One second. With the agenda of the population sustainability that Ted Turner's been talking about, that we need to get rid of people.
Ted Turner,
Bill Gates been talking about.
From that
Ted Turner
network,
from
cable network.
Turner Network, yeah.
One of those cable network. Okay.
Yeah, he's been saying for decades, that you have to get rid of people if you want to survive in the future, right? And he's been saying, it's on YouTube, you can just go look at it. Bill Gates been saying this for years, and the only solution through this is through vaccination. So now, here it comes, and it's here. What do we do? What do we do? Do we sit back and let the government decide what we're going to do like we're doing right now?
That's
because
what
we've
most of
lived in
us are
such.
doing
That's
right
why I
now.
tell. Right. This is why I say Donald Trump is the best thing ever happened to America, because Donald Trump came out and he made it so transparent that we can see the garbage that's happening in Washington. And we still sit back here for Democrats and we're Republicans. And no, man, you need to see it's transparent now. You can see right through it, but we're still hanging on to these people. What we need to do is go back to the creator within us and look
All
within
right.
ourselves
Let me say this real quick. I'm
and
gonna go
see
to.
where we're going to go.
I'm going to go to some of the things that are going here because I'm going to be 100% honest with you because that's what I can do, be honest with you. You're going in 100% right now. You're taking it to a whole new level. You're going on a higher heights. I'm surprised I don't see any smoke coming out of the room behind you, like you've been smoking some good kush. Yes, but I like where you're at with this. You're giving us a whole other perspective that a lot of people don't look at, Peter Gracie. And this is one of the things that we need to be open-minded about. When I say think critical, I want you to think just that one way that society, of course, want us to think. You have to come outside the box. Come out the bubble for a minute. Now, here's someone in the chat room that says, the age of Aquarius is based on astrology. One of the laws that was given to Moses in Leviticus is that we should not believe in astrology, sleep with same kind, etc., etc., etc. Now, what is astrology that we should not believe in it?
Well, we don't. Listen. This is where I keep saying that people will say things. What she just wrote, she has a point, but she has to think. No one ever said they believed in astrology. No one ever said that.
Okay, so Kocha Barnett says,
I'm not sure.
Kocha Barnett says, just speak of astrology, spiritual reader in the book of Isaiah.
Okay.
Yes. So astrology is actually in the Bible then.
It's of course, it's all
so
over it.
So if it's in the Bible then,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. Right?
Go ahead.
When Jesus was about to be born, right?
Mm-hmm.
And God told the angel appeared to the wise men and say, follow that star. Why didn't the angel just tell them where Jesus is?
And why does the star is that significant, right?
Yes.
So astrology does play a major role in this thing, man. Yo, I am so learning today.
Listen. Come on. Listen. The reason why people are so sick and lost in their heads now, they don't even realize that astrology is us. We're on Earth. Isn't Earth a part of the cosmos, a part of the universe?
Yes.
Isn't Earth a part of astrology?
Yes.
So where are people so caught up? We're on Earth. Earth is in space like everything else, the astros, the cosmos.
Wow.
What's the problem with that?
We
are here.
This is deep. I like it. Listen, I like having this kind of co-host hosting the show with me, man. Ladies and gentlemen, shoot your question in. He's here. Let him answer these questions. Would that be rhetorical questions, some naked truth questions? Would that be some questions that is outside the box or some critical questions? Ask those questions in the chat room. I like it. Now, astrology, as a matter of fact, if that word is in the Bible, simply mean that the Aries and the Pisces and all these things are factual, because when you talk about Pisces is the one with the fishes, right, Peter?
Yes.
All right. And when Jesus Christ came about, most of his thing was about fish, if you notice it. He told Peter to go, I'm not sure if it's you he told to go out there and cast out the net, and Peter says, there's nothing out there, and him say, yo, just go and go cast the net, man. Don't back talk me. Go out there so go cast the net. And him go to go cast the net and appear fish. He took 5 fishes and peered this. Everything was about fish.
Everything was about fish. Not only that, when Jesus was showing people how to walk on water, he was teaching you how to walk on water before the age of the water came.
Before the age of the water came.
But it's fear that makes you sink. So these things that we are watching on the news and watching all this, it's fear driven.
So even with what's going on now and people even catching this virus, it's based on the fear. Everything is fear. Listen.
It's not. They will catch it. But what people don't understand is this: if you have fear, right, which is only false evidence appearing to be real, right?
Yes.
And also, if you watch these things before you go to bed at night, what's going to happen is this information is going to sit in your subconscious, and it's going to break down your immune system, and next thing you know, you're dead.
All right, so Peter, you're right. Let me ask you this question though, before I get to a question in the chat room from Tishel Earl. Now, back then in the biblical days, the leaders, the prophets, and all these people used to get these visions, these dreams. Where does this dream come from? The terminology dream. What does it have to do with because the astrologists and all these things? Isn't this dream what that some people call a myth today, because they say it's that your spirit got to sleep and your body got to sleep, but your spirit room and whatever it is, that's what's really happening. People start to interpret dreams and all these things. So if you don't believe in astrology, how comes you to believe in dreams?
I didn't even say I believe in dreams.
No, I'm not saying you per se.
In general,
I'm just saying
right?
in general.
But okay, so there's two ways we can look at things when it comes to these dreams.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at something, do you think it's your eyes that know what it is? It's not your eyes.
Is what?
Because when you look at it, the whole process of what that thing is goes on inside. It has to communicate with your brain to say, that's TC. So everything happens from within.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I brought that point up is because we have a subconscious, we have a conscious and a conscious mind. When we're walking around, we can see all kind of things. We can see everything. We can, as far as only what we can see, but in our peripheral, we probably can't see, but we can also hear things, right? And these things that we are not conscious of goes into the subconscious.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And so sometimes you will be able to talk about things that happened 2 days ago. You never saw it, but it happened. But the thing is, you saw it in a deeper sense. It's just that your eyes didn't see it to process it with your brains. So you can think about it, right? Not only that, but because we're all connected by that one lifeline, when we are aligned, if you study Kabbalah, right? And you get aligned with you get aligned with the chakras, and you're right on the right path with the sephiros, right?
Yes.
What happened is we're all connected. We can fix things. We can heal things. We can touch something and make it heal. We're properly aligned with the cosmos. We're properly aligned with intelligence. We're properly aligned with God.
All right. So
this is why.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So here's some of the questions that our persons in the chat room actually send, because I like to keep them engaged. You know what I mean? And probably can answer some of these questions. So what does the 666 means? Question sign.
666. Listen, Revelation.
You stated something about it earlier.
It's that of a man.
It's that of a man?
That's what the Bible says. Yes. Here's the difference, and here's a lot of people tend to be lost.
Mm-hmm.
Is that there's a difference between a man and a human being. There's a difference between who? You break up just now. A man, and a human being.
Okay.
There's one purpose of every human being. To be. That's why it's a being. We're being.
A being.
It's like you're playing. You play, but if you're doing it by the verb, you're playing. We're here to be. Being. Human, being. Now let's break down the word human before. Hu means original. Hu means aboriginal. Man means it's the aboriginal thing that was created, which is a man. So if you look at the topsoil of dirt, you can grow things in that dirt because the dirt is humus. But when it's broken down to sand, foolish is the man who builds his house on sand. because it's not original anymore. It's just there's no foundation.
Okay.
So if we get back to ourselves and go back toward the inner selves, we realize that within us there is a creator. And the creation is us experiencing this life. Now,
Creation is us
man
experiencing this life.
Right. That's
Okay.
our only purpose, to be here to experience the life that was given to us. Now, because we are man and we have to walk around, because remember, this is why it says Jesus came in flesh form, because he had to come as a man. When Jesus was nailed to the cross, that wasn't Jesus you're looking at. That was the ego of a man being bled. These are allegories we have to understand. Now, the thing is, as far as the 666 goes, the makeup of carbon, if you look at for the makeup of carbon, which if you go to an archaeologist and he's digging up dinosaurs and all that, he has to run carbon test. He has to run carbon test on a human to know how long this person, it's all carbon. 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons is the makeup of carbon.
Okay.
This
So
is where the,
if I'm doing my research,
this is where
now,
the makeup of a man is, because we're based.
okay, in your own words, in your opinion, this is what the makeup of man is.
No, that is reality.
Mm-hmm.
We're all carbon based.
So the
This is
creator
how we can tell
uses
how
this.
old bones. This is the way we
This
can
is why
tell
from
how
the dust
old
you
bones.
came,
Mhm.
and you can find carbon in the dust, in the dirt.
You remember, man and woman is only one entity, you know. And this is why Gemini was where it started, because we pulled a woman out a man, right? And made it something else, a man and a womb man.
Oh.
That's why they say when they say when you hit your woman, it's like hitting yourself.
All right, stick up in there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, if you're just joining us, welcome. For those of you who actually share the link, thank you so very much for sharing. You are on the program that speaks controversy, that speak nothing but the naked truth. It's Lunch with TC. Of course, my co-host today is none other than Peter Gracie, an author, a business entrepreneur. This brother has so many accolades to his name to mention. But it's great to have him here with us co-hosting the show today, which we will have someone from our chat room every week co-hosting the show with us. Again, let me remind you, we will send you the topic of discussion 24 hours before, so you can get educated about the topic that we will be discussing on that particular day. All right? So we're going to pin those things in the chat room right now. Also on flexfm.online, on Facebook, and on YouTube, we're going to pin those information. So for those of you. So I'm going to go to the chat room now, of course, Peter Gracie, and let you hear what some of the people are saying in the chat room if you haven't read it already. Now, Tracy Northstar says, Isaiah 47 verse 13, and this is a very controversial verse, you know. It says, you are weary with your many counsel. Let them stand forth and save you. Okay, something just come up and just push me up. All right, let them stand forth and save you. Those who divide the heavens gaze at stars, who at the new moon makes known that shall come to you. Behold, they are like stubble, the fire consumed them. They cannot deliver themselves from the power of the flames. Now, that is Isaiah 47 verse 30. Now, this is where it gets controversial for me personally, and this is just my personal opinion here. So if astrology is not a great thing, or if astrology is not a part of everything that's going on, Peter, I have seen where it says here, let them stand forth and save you, meaning worried with your many counsel. And the counsel that we talk about sometimes is those counsel who these great men go to for advice back then. Now, we see where it also says, gaze at stars, who at the new moon make known what shall come to you. So if you're going to talk about the new moon and you're going to talk about the stars, you're just dabbling into astrology right there. That's just what I'm
No,
getting
no.
from this.
See.
So
Let
even
me.
if
Okay.
Isaiah speak about this, it may not say this is
Okay.
astrology, but it is astrology when you talk about moon and
Okay.
stars.
It is. Now, see. Okay. So there's a difference between studying astrology and this, and there's a difference between the difference between studying astrology and studying astrotheology. There's a difference. One is the theology of astrology, and one is just astrology, right? The
Right.
reason why Isaiah said, "Be careful," it's because, let me give you an example, right? And I'm gonna just follow me, right? Because
Okay.
I want to make sure that, and these things are just flying off my head as I'm speaking, right?
Yes.
You
I'm
have a
listening.
hallway. You have a hall. You have a hallway, right?
Yes.
And within that hallway is this entire hallway. It's life, and we're all in this hallway. Within this hallway, there's a lot of doors. Now you have free will to open a door and go into it, if you want to. But once you open that door, it's going to expose you to more and more and more and more and more, and you may just lose yourself. When you start studying astrology to a certain point, if you're not careful, you can get carried away and get caught up, just like anything else. This is
Right.
what Isaiah is saying. So within us, there's a creator and there's a creation. And we have to know what the creation is doing at all time. When somebody says, "I need to go find myself," what does that mean? How do you go to find yourself? Are you talking about two people? What are you talking about? How do you find yourself? Man, I feel really bad. How do you know you feel bad? We have to think about these things deeper. Now, the thing is, within ourselves, we have this thing called the ego, right? And with the ego wears different masks. The word personality comes from the Latin word persona, meaning mask. We walk around with these masks for so long, we don't even know how to remove it. And so we get caught up in this thing that we're a politician or we're a doctor or an attorney or an entertainer, and we never remove that mask. So everywhere you go, you're behaving like this person. But who are you, or who were you before the mask? Or can you take it off? Now, if you are an entertainer, you have to, every time you go out, you have to look like an avatar. Your face has to be polished, your hair has to be good, else you are afraid that people are not going to like you.
Okay. All right.
Where did
So
you lose yourself? Where did you
yeah.
lose yourself? So what I'm getting at is this. As far as Isaiah, what he's saying is this: be careful, because if you go into something and you can't remove it, you will get carried away. And if you get carried away into all this, the ego active mind, which is man, is something that will value who you really are and make you into something that can seem bigger or greater. But what people are not realizing is Moses himself was a mystic. Moses did magic. This is where the Maccabees came in. And they didn't want you to know this, because if you would get caught with a Maccabees Bible, you go to jail. He knew how to control this. Moses knew how to control this to the T while while keeping his ground as himself. There's nothing that could separate him from his creator. He could go so far into it, you could not hold him there. But we're so weak. Once you become TC Flex, for now, you'll always be TC Flex. But what about the regular guy?
Right. Well, check this
Can
out
you
though.
not walk around one day not being TC Flex?
No, I can't.
But
I
Moses was
can't.
able to do that. But you see what you said, though? Moses was able to do that. So this is what Isaiah is saying is, be careful what you're doing. If you go there, you can't remove it, you're done. It's over. So
Okay.
leave it to the expert. Leave it to the councils.
Okay.
You see
I
where we're
like that.
going?
I
Leave it
like
to the
that.
councils and
Leave it to
take the
those who can
council's
handle it.
advice. Who
Okay.
can handle it?
All right, so Patrick here, that's Patrick Lewin says, walk on water, make me see. No, that is easy, Patrick, because you have a ship that's heavier than me and you can float on water, may not, but it's driving on water based on technology. You yourself, as heavy as you are, can float on water, but if your mind move away from what is balancing you, then you will fall beneath that water. It's easy. Now, Jesus walked on the water, but then you can float on the water. It's things that he did. It's the same man that says, greater in me are you. Simply mean you will be doing greater stuff than what he was doing here on earth. And you talk about Moses. Let's touch on that real quick because it's a time of fly away, like the coronavirus. I've seen Moses done something in the Bible where if anybody today's date did that, will be considered a hobia man. Strike a rock and water,
okay,
come out
answer this, and answer this too. Why does he need a rod?
What? I don't know, you know. You tell me. Because everything was
Why
about
is it
the
that
rod.
every movie you see, like like Harry Potter and all these things, why do they all have rods?
I don't. To help them climb mountains.
This is what I'm saying, because with the Maccabees, Maccabees teaches you that Moses was a wizard. You see, you have to know how to read these things. These are not things that you just read it. Now, like how this guy come and say, walk on water with me. That's an ignorant thing to say. I'm just being straight up.
And that's
because
what the show
these
is
are
about, being straight
allegories.
up.
See, right, but these are allegories. No, but these are allegories. And the thing
Explain
what I'm saying
allegory
is
in
you
layman
have to
terms so you
think.
can understand, Peter.
It's like I show you one thing, but it kind of means something else.
Okay.
You have to really take. It's like it's like, for instance, if I say to you, your father said to you, one day you go well, the bottom of the bucket gonna drop out or something like that.
Allegories.
It's the same thing. Right, so when someone says Jesus walked on water and he's teaching people how to walk on water, it's not saying the man walk on top of the water.
Right.
But what it's saying that there's a creator in you that can allow you to do those things if you want to. However, because you're so lost, just like when they say a mustard seed, a small mustard seed can do all these things. Go pick up a mustard seed and do it. You can't do that. Faith of a mustard seed. What it's saying that all you need is faith.
All right, let me just read this real
That's
quick
it.
because it's time pushing. Kojo said the physical flesh is just a covering to the house, the spiritual soul. The flesh,
Okay.
this flesh is just a house for the soul inside, which, yeah, true. My mother says, real talk, something to think about. Now, of course, Tracy Northstar says, from Genesis, God gave us the authority to command the elements of the earth, sun, moon, stars, etc. But we should not worship them. Jesus commanded wild, etc. But he did not worship it.
Okay, which is good, and that's fine, because again, we are on earth.
Right.
Look, infinite intelligence and astrology has to do with our life, with entire life on a day-to-day basis. If the sun does not show up, we will not have life.
Okay.
Not only that, but the sun emits rays at 528 megahertz, right?
Right.
When it hits the grass vibrates at 528. We breathe it in. We breathe at these things at a vibration of 528. We release carbon dioxide in the air, and it replenishes everything. Without the sun, nothing lives. So yes, we have to pay homage to the Creator who
Serious
created this
knowledge.
sun. Right? We have to pay homage to the Creator who created that sun. Not only that, TC, but check this out. Without the moon, women menstrual cycles will never ever be right. Because the moon controls the menstrual cycle of all female. Not only that, the moon controls the tides, which we know how to go fish. So yes, it all plays a role. It all plays a part.
Right.
But are we going to worship it? No. But you can go outside and look at a plant. If you go to India, you see people have many gods. But it's not gods that they worship. They're giving reverence to the energy and the creator that's within that thing. Because
This is
everything has
why
life.
Joshua, I don't remember, don't quote me on that, was the one who commanded the sun to stop so them could win that battle. So it said we have the dominant to, in reference to what Tracy North Star says in Genesis, God gave us authority to command the elements of the earth, sun, moon, etc. Now, it's only a few people back then could have do that, like whosoever did command the sun to stop and it stopped. I think all that I forgot it. Listen, there's a lot of witchcrafting that was going on back then, which if we should do it now, that's why I can't burn out Obeah, you know, I rate Obeah. Them play a role in our earth. And them are the Moses and the Joshua and the people them of this time. But some people just burn them out to them feel like. And then guess what? Most of the people who practices these things are from Africa, are native Africans. This is a culture from Africa, you know. This is why I know that Africa is an important part of the Bible itself. And this is why I know that the culture of Africa is one of the most dominant one. Everything else is a spin-off from, in my opinion. But we have 5 minutes, Peter Grace, and of course I like to leave the last word for my co-host in respect of you taking the time out to be here with us today. I'm giving you the last word, my brother.
Well, when you called me, you didn't even tell me what the topic was, bro.
It was
just
so
catapulted me
spontaneous.
into this.
For real.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine because I'll address anything that comes.
But you know what? I
Because
know I could depend on you, the person that you are.
oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Look, here's the thing. This is the
Yes.
last. This is what I would like to say to leave everyone with is we are here right now, and what's going on is nothing to be afraid of because we're in it. We have to embrace it and act accordingly. We just have to know and realize out of this where we go forward as a people. Now, we are here on life with one purpose, and that purpose is to experience this life. Everything else are goals that we have, things that we want to achieve while we're experiencing this life. There's nothing good or bad, because if you should say, Peter, that person is a bad person, what you're telling me is that you're a good person. And if you've never sinned, you should cast the first stone. So we need to get these things out of our heads about who's doing this, who's not doing this, and start focusing on what we're going to do. We get caught up in this news media and say they're coming for us, 5G is going to... Well, if you've been paying attention for a long time, you know these things are coming. So now it's here, everyone's scrambling. I'm not scrambling. I'm not afraid of death. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to know what life is worth, we have to take it from when someone is dead. Because you will see the true worth of what that person's life was worth according to man, not according to the Creator. According to man, you want to know what a life is worth, you evaluate it through death. That's why when someone dies, they honor them at that point. Now, there's the age that we're in, that we've caught up, that we found ourselves in, it's a beautiful thing because we're able to experience it. Not everyone is able to experience it. People die. People yesterday died. People today are going to die. People tomorrow will die. But we're here. So instead of running around being afraid, we have to know how to embrace it. We have to know how to actually find ourselves again and look into ourselves and say, where are we? Where are we? If you sit back and you keep watching TV and you keep listening to the news, what's going to happen is the programming is going to be injected into you and it's going to keep going because it's all programming. This is why they call it programming. It's all going to be injected into you. You have to let go. You have to say, okay, for so many hours for the day, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to put this away. Don't watch it or listen to it before you go to your bed, and don't watch it first thing in the morning, because what you do with the first 15 minutes of your day is going to determine your entire day. So you have to let go of these things. You can look at it to see an update, but you can't get caught up in it. This is why we're here right now. Because again, we've gotten caught up in this life for so long. Now the truth is here, we don't know how to handle it. But we're here to experience this life, and this is what we're doing. Don't be afraid to die. Just do the right thing. Do what you're supposed to do. Wash your hands like your mom told you to. If you don't have tissue, find another way. Go in the bath, turn on the water up your whatever and wash. Soap is the thing that you need. If you use these little thing in your hand that what do you call it?
Sanitizer.
The sanitizer.
Yes.
If it only kills 99%, that means you have a 1%. And if everyone does it collectively, it can cause a superbug. What you really need to do is wash your hands with soap and water. And don't use that antibacterial soap. It's not good for you. Because you have good bacteria and bad bacteria. You can't kill all bacteria. You need good bacteria, right? So don't use antibacterial soap. Your body needs that bacteria. So just do the right thing. And if they say stay in, just stay in. Because if you go out, you're going to face exactly what they have for you out there. This is a new world. This is a new world order, my friend.
Peter Gracie, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you taking my invite at such short notice. And of course, I do apologize for not sending off the topic point real quick because we had such a crazy day. And thank you for being spontaneous. The person that you are always rise to the occasion. And we know that we here at Flexx FM can depend on you, my brother. Thank you a whole lot. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Peter.
Yeah, I have.
You were saying something in closing? I didn't hear you. Go ahead. Say that.
Yeah. I put up all these things. I have these documentaries on YouTube.
Yes.
If you go to YouTube and look at Peter Gracie, I put these up every day. Every day.
Tell us
Every other day I do.
The social angle that they can go to. Peter Gracie.
It's YouTube/Peter.
YouTube/Peter
It's
Gracie.
YouTube. If you go to YouTube, yes. So you can go there and you can see all these things that we're going. And again, I'm not there for people to believe or not to believe or to argue. It's about building knowledge. I could be wrong on a lot of things. So it's about building knowledge. So go to YouTube, and if you have a question, you can shoot me an email at petergracie@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to do a topic on the podcast. I have podcasts on Anchor, Apple, Spotify, all that. So if you need to reach out, or you can just reach out to TC Flexx. You got my direct number.
True. That indeed we know.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, my brother. Gentlemen, you too for sharing our link. I just have to get this out of the way here. Thank you so very much for sharing today. It has been a wonderful show, a wonderful topic. Peter Gracie did such a wonderful job in, of course, coming outside the box, something that we love to do here. Think critical. Now, I am saying to you, there's nothing that we discuss here that is the opinion of Flexx FM and their affiliate, ladies and gentlemen, but solely the opinion of yours truly, TC, your captain, and of course, our co-host and special guests that we have. So, this is not written in stone. You can do your own research, ladies and gentlemen, and get the information yourself. If you bump upon anything that sounds like gospel, then of course you take it if you want. Leave it. Sift these things out. Know what the truth is, because before the end of the day, you will know what the truth is. I like to say, you know what my truth is? My truth. For real. So, with everything that news media is coming to you with, as Peter Gracie just said, I'm going to reiterate that, ladies and gentlemen. We should just update ourselves with what's happening, but don't consume ourselves with what's happening. It's depressing. I told you before that there's so many things that's happening in the news. There's people right now who are feeding the poor. There's somebody mysteriously leaving letters with money to these small businesses in some parts in the US. And these people are opening these letters. It don't have a return address, but it have hundreds of dollars in these envelopes. Someone is doing good. Where are our Jay-Z's and Beyoncé's? Why aren't they using the funding that they have or get from their fans to help their fans at this time? Where are all the rappers and all those making millions of dollars, those big record and label company? Why aren't they going over to China, getting these masks, or go to wherever these masks are being made, buy them in bulk and bring them and deliver them to certain hospitals without even putting a name tag on them? Simply mean that these people seems to be just all about the money, if you ask me, personally. Now, we can do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. We know that we are in a crisis right now. It's a pandemic. More so, everybody around the world is panicking. Where are the successful Jamaicans or abroad who have been making millions of dollars? Why aren't you sending supplies back home so the hospital can be equipped themselves? Listen, you have these professionals are dying because they don't have sufficient equipment to deal with the amount of cases that's coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, these numbers are rising at an alarm rate. What are we doing? Come on. Those persons who are in these positions to make change are not making any changes. The Oprah Winfrey, why aren't they now taking their money? The Tyler Perry, why aren't they now sending their money? The Joel Osteen, the T.D. Jakes, why aren't they using their money now? The only thing they have to give us is the word. It's there in everybody's home. We need the funding now to go get these supplies so we can utilize them in these hospitals and these places that need it. We need it. It's a necessity at this time. So stop coming on social media telling us, oh, have faith and have hope and so. Come spend your money. That's what you need to do. Go to these places. Call your friends in high places and tell them that we know you make these supplies and I may not can do at 500,000, but send me 100 so I can give the hospital down the road from where my church is. Send me 100 so I can give the hospital or the clinic next to the house where I was brought up or the school there. Come on, man. Let's get back to humanity. For real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday and I don't want to stress or bore anyone out, but this is why we're here. To speak nothing but the naked truth. This is what Lunch with TC is all about. Next week, we'll be having special guests all week long. And who our special guests are, our co-hosts will be you. None other but you. So you can let your voice be heard. So I want to thank all our co-hosts so far for this week. We started out in the month of April, because this is the time where they call the Passover, the Lent, and all these things. So we're using it up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be surprised if one of our personnel reach out to you to be a co-host for our show. We will definitely give you a heads up about the topic of choice, and you can, get yourself up to par with it, so you can better have a reasoning where it's concerned. And listen, if it's something that you are not of, don't be afraid to reach out back to us and say, you don't mingle in religion, you don't mingle in politics, whatever the case may be, or the subject point is. Feel free to reach out with us. Our email address, ladies and gentlemen, is flexfm@gmail.com. That's FLEXXFM@gmail.com. It's been on the bottom of our social media platform right here on Facebook, on website, and so forth. Go to our website. There is a thing you can go there and sign up to as well if you want to be a part of our co-host platform that we have. And there's a donate button on our website. You can also donate, ladies and gentlemen, because honestly, if we have the funding, we will call our friends in our places and ask them to donate some of these stuff and to send us some of these stuff so we can actually distribute it to some of the hospitals here. Broad General here in Fort Lauderdale alone is overwhelmed, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Florida Medical is overwhelmed. The University Hospital is overwhelmed. All these nearby hospitals, the hospital in Coral Springs, overwhelmed with cases. America alone, almost quarter of the world rate right now. It's an alarming 1 million cases globally, ladies and gentlemen. And a quarter of that is here. Oh my goodness. Why aren't we being more proactive? Are we concerned about washing our hands? Are we concerned about social distancing? We're pretty much doing a good job at that way before coronavirus has been on the rise. Trust me. Because everybody texting now, everybody just doing this. People, family, this is the closest family has get together in years. This is the most some people hear from them family in years. For real. Now, I am appealing to the elderly folks, ladies and gentlemen. You know you cannot deal with radiation. And I think that this is something that stems from the 5G radiation that's going on. I see people in China right now, or Japan, or one of those countries, cutting down the 5G poles, ladies and gentlemen. They're actually doing that right now because they are onto something different from what we're onto. Because guess what? They say that's where it created from. Our president called it the China virus. For real. So, hey, who created China, it seems? Is that what they're saying? I don't know, really. But hey, with the last thing I have to say to you, be critical in your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Think outside the box. Continue reading the good book that you're reading. Continue listening to the news, but don't let it consume you. Ladies and gentlemen, continue watching and sharing our platform right here. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, 12 to 2. Because what we discuss here is something that will make you go, Food for thought. For real. Thank you for having lunch with me today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, coming up next is some exclusive videos, but more so at 3 o'clock. We do have another documentary on Yesterday at 3 o'clock, we show you a documentary. We have this documentary series that we're doing at 3 o'clock, weekdays here, ladies and gentlemen. So you come back here at 3 o'clock, whether you want to join us on Facebook, Flexx FM Radio, or you want to join us on our website, flexfm.online. At 3 o'clock, we'll have another exclusive documentary, ladies and gentlemen, and how this coronavirus have different stages, as Gracie stated earlier. All right? So this is what it does, ladies and gentlemen. So at 3 o'clock, join us for a documentary series that we have going on here, weekdays, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. And this may scare you, but don't make it alarm you. The coronavirus, this is just another stage. There has been different stages way before this, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Goes by different names. They have one called the S something another, they have one called the M something another. And this is just the COVID-19. So there's other COVID. What about COVID-1, COVID-2, COVID-3, COVID-4, all the way up? Trust me, you need to watch it at 3 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great weekend. Be safe, and of course, do what's best for you and your family. One love, I'm out of here. Peace be unto earth.
Some men are lovers of themselves. In this time, only a few will name love as something that they know to be shared with me and you. What a pity.
So, last year you work around the clock to ensure that this tax season you see a return that may help you to purchase that car that you're longing for, or help you to pay down that interest rate on that mortgage. Well, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, they call that insane. You know what else is insane? All-in-one multi-tax services. All-in-one multi-tax services help you get the most of your return, serving the 52 state nationwide. For information and direction, you can contact Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. That's 754-204-1610. Or stop on by their office at 3888 West Commercial Boulevard in the city of Tamarack. All-in-one multi-tax Services LLC gives you the best of your return, offering services that goes above and beyond. So don't hesitate to call Merlin Johnson at 754-204-1610. All-in-one multi-tax services LLC. Don't forget to ask about our advanced loans.
Yo, the one from Martin. Tell her the truth, my name never talk too long, just listen to the song, you know what I say?